TheShy seeming a lot more confident, willing to go up against whatever BLG pull out.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious what's going to happen in the bottom lane here with the Yuumi band as well as Lucian and Varus. Like, Varus kind of being the fallback AD carry for a lot of players. I mean, we saw Hornfong obviously absolutely loving the Ziggs earlier today, but like Sivir, I think, is the champion that stands out the most, but then without Yuumi, do you really want to go for that? Ashe is going to be the answer for On, at least. We'll see.
You just felt like the Lulu, if you wanted to bring out the Zerian, you know, go for that hyper carry bot lane with that one on the board. Maokai, another thing that's still left open as well. It was banned in both Game 1 and Game 2, so this will be the first game that it's left open, and would set up Karsa to, you know, try and be that more team fight, lockdown-oriented jungler that he has been.
Yeah, so Ryze locked in here. Xiaohu. And we'll see where we're going to go. Does feel like, you know, when you think back to the first draft of today for these two teams, they were instant. Like, both teams knew exactly what they wanted to play. They knew exactly what they wanted to ban. Like, there was no thinking involved. It was just straight away. Game number 3 of the series, much slower, much more contemplative, as the Ryze and the Maokai come through for Xiaohu and Karsa respectively. And over to BLG. We'll see whether this Ashe is going to be that Ashe support that we've seen so much, or we have seen Ashe and Heimerdinger, with Ashe being the AD carry as well. So see what the option will be for BLG.
Ooh, and immediately I expect him to lock this in, get Shun on something he's comfortable on. But I'm really curious about jungle, because we've only seen Shun on 3 champions, Wukong, Vi, and the Kindred so far. So with Maokai off the table, you now have like a solid 80 top laner. I wouldn't expect something like the Nidalee to come out a lot like with this. So
it's going to be the bottom lane, the Heimerdinger that we talked about. So Elk will be taking the Ashe as the AD carry instead, and On will be bringing the Heimerdinger out. So now we need an answer from Weibo. Do you lock in a top laner to match up against Bin's Jax, or do you opt to continue?
I actually think this will be our
or
first AD carry playing the Ashe of the split so far. We've only had it in support. So we're going to see what this... I mean, this lane just looks so irritating coming through. Ashe, Heimerdinger together, even if it is our first in LPL with it paired together. You get the answer to your question, though.
Yeah.
TheShy going to look to match Jax on the opposing side. I mean, TheShy famous for his Jayce and in what he's able to do.
You know, you're talking about this being the first time we're seeing an Ashe as the AD carry in LPL. Obviously, we've seen it internationally. But this might be the first time that we're seeing a draft go where neither AD carry nor support is locked in the first 3 this year. Honestly, feels like every draft, AD carries are like first pick.
We've had one that I've seen, which was the RNG draft of like the Galio, Graves, you know, whatever thing that didn't end up working. Didn't work for RNG, so we'll see if Weibo... I mean, they still did go with, you know, very strong meta picks, Ryze and Maokai coming out. So far, setting up for playing toward the top side with the Realm Warp, having some team fighting options, but especially playing with the side lane pressure you're going to have with both the Ryze and the Jayce throughout the game. You can see them wanting to take away the hard, engaged tools that BLG would want to play with to try to force Weibo together and really find those engages when the split push is going on through. To where on the side of BLG, just going to take away some of these AD carries. We're already in the trenches of what you can go for. We already talked about things like the Lulu can still set up for either one of like the Sivir or the Zeri.
Yeah.
We also still have, I guess theoretically, things like Draven if Light wanted to go.
Ezreal.
That would do really well against this.
Ezreal's an option that does quite well into the Heimerdinger as well. It's
Yeah.
reasonably strong right now. Works with a Jayce, etc., etc. So could be an option for them. But I like the idea of going for the support first. Leave the AD carry pick until you know the whole picture.
We've only seen Leona against Heimer come out from Southwind so far. 2 varying degrees of success. I believe it is 1 win, 1 loss. Obviously struggled incredibly hard in lane both games, but if you could get to the mid game, I mean, we know what a solar flare is going to provide to being able to find a team fight.
Especially alongside that Maokai, right? Where
Yeah.
you've got the long range route, you can follow CC and guarantee that engage. We talked about the Nidalee. It's locked in. Shun grabbing himself that hyper carry once again.
And I'm a bit surprised to see it paired through. You do have CC coming out right, Counter-Strike from Jax. You have the grenade for Heimer and Air. Like, tons of CC. I will say none of it is as easy as, you know, the typical just Renekton W set up for the spear to come through. Shun, though, still going to get his hands on it. And if they lock this in, you have a lot of great ults to steal from the side of Weibo, but you are very magic damage heavy which can make it very easy for some of the members of Weibo to itemize against it. Oh,
another Ziggs.
yeah.
I don't know what's been going on in scrims, but apparently it's Ziggs, because we saw this from Wobfog earlier. Obviously, a lot of AD carry bans that have led us to this point, but no looking for things like the Ezreal. It is very much about this Ziggs today. So, very long-range composition, and once again, it's this Ziggs-Jayce combo that looked pretty good earlier. Didn't get the win, but a lot of damage later on in the game.
It's going to be one of those things where I think it is still very side lane focused when you have Jayce and Ryze together. Also just feels very awkward in early mid-game trying to like run in and engage with these sorts of champions. And then
see if they can pull it off against Weibo here. Game number 3 of our match of the week. And they want an early game right off of the bat here as they're sneaking on through the brushes. Karsa spotting it out and will be able to walk away with his life. Very good presence of mind from Weibo to think that this might be coming.
And knowing Bin's going to want to find this advantage early on, if you get the Jax going and just set up, he'll be able to constantly look for all-ins up against the Jayce. We know just both Jax and Nidalee will be the focal points of this composition. Your bottom lane's going to be just all about push, and you're going to leave them to their own devices. They'll be able to get pushed as well. And then Yagao linking up with the Nidalee.
The whole gang just waiting behind that wall, hoping that Xiaohu will overstep here, but the Weibo bottom lane managing to get out there, grab a ward, slam it over onto the red buff as well. Then Crisp recalls, grabs a sweeper for himself. BLG really wanting to be aggressive to start this one off, but Light just getting a good chunk of damage down onto multiple players. Karsa is here though. He's not wanting to let these jungle camps go without a fight. Definitely wants to be a part of the play.
Looks like they will just end up giving the blue buff away in the end. Will look to finish off his wolves. And oh, he's gonna... He's walking over, like, threatening the possibility of walking over to just smite away the blue.
Okay, smite for smite. Shun gets the blue buff. Looking for Karsa as well as Bin and TheShy in a 1v1. And Bin forcing TheShy away from his tower here. But TheShy using the brush to get out and actually winning the trade all in all.
I mean, he did a nice job, right? He didn't end up taking any damage from the counter-strike, so he was able to then kite that out, get some more damage onto Bin, wanting to find that all-in at level 1. How you do try and find a semblance of advantage in this melee versus range matchup. But TheShy... I mean, TheShy wrote the books on how to play these matchups.
He certainly did. I feel like TheShy is one of the players that Bin watched while he was practicing top lane because Bin, you know, like you said earlier, one of the players that very quickly on became a, like, he was one of the mini TheShy players, you know, up in the top lane, so...
There are many people who get called mini TheShy.
Yeah.
Why
anyone that gets a solo kill, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Allah was called mini TheShy. Why is Cam now? People are... It's just...
Plays like Shanji, where he was bringing out these wacky picks and finding solo kills. Did get that moniker for a time. But TheShy is the big TheShy, so...
Oh, the Shanji one never really made sense to me because he never really played in that way to where, like, everyone else, whether I agree with it or not, like, I get it. I get, like, volatility,
like
mechanics, Shanji was always never really that volatile of a player. Just had wacky picks and could find solo kills.
And yeah, I do feel like when it comes to that moniker specifically, all people really want is that they get solo kills.
Yeah, it is given out pretty loosely, for being honest.
Yeah. But yeah, Bin was one of the originals. Anyway, let's digress the point. TheShy up on the top side of the map here, getting dived by Shun and taken down before he can even think about flashing. Very fast kill coming out from Bin and Shun.
Right, I mean, Counter-Strike coming out, the spear, even just the amount of damage Bin was able to do in that exchange as well, enough to take down TheShy. And when the comp started coming together before we finished draft, we hit on side lanes for Weibo. But I mean, look at BLG. Both Sylas and Jax going to be a monster later on. No one going to be able to match up against that Jax. Xiaohu, though, now being focused down by Shun. Yagao has TP, so maybe they wait for him to come back and see if they can make a play off of this.
Yeah, I do feel like Xiaohu's going to get out of here. Does have flash available, but I don't think there's a significant threat against him here. Going to be able to recall.
They were hoping he greeted, right?
Yeah.
Went with the wave forward, and then maybe you can set it up. Not really too much time value lost either. You do have 2 camps up as Shun, who's now looking back towards top side, but Weibo are reading this well.
Bin there.
Everyone's coming.
Shun, but Bin's actually in big trouble here. TheShy doing massive damage, and Shun just has to heal. As you say, the whole gang is here. Karsa and Xiaohu coming out from the top side.
It's actually tragic that TheShy won the trade so hard, right? Because
yeah.
ideally, you would have wanted them to come into you when you're bringing Karsa, when Xiaohu's TPing in. Look at Crisp on the minimap. He was walking up, and then maybe you could have converted that into actual kills. But it will lead to a contest for this Fluma.
Oh, TheShy could be in trouble again. Stun comes out. Shun's not in range for a spear, though, and Bin takes another chunk. Weibo hoping TheShy will lose one of these trades that late. Look juicy, and he's like, does not compute. I don't lose trades. That's not who I am. Here we go, Chris finding a stun. Yagao level 5 jumping into the midst of everyone. The bomb's flying in as well. Karsa gets the blue buff, flashes out. Shun's got a bit deep on this one. Ignited and will just be pummeled into the wall. Taken down. Karsa gets the kill. Yagao trying to trade it, but there's so much CC between the Maokai and the Leona. Yagao low on HP as TheShy trying to follow up. Xiaohu over the wall looking for auto attacks. There's a tether from Chris, but Xiaohu's gone the other way. Finds the kill onto On. Yagao can't do anything.
You hit the nail on the head, though. The amount of CC coming out opens up for the kills to be picked up by Weibo. It's a nice swing of gold that they've been looking for. Bot lane still just going to end up being this farm fest where both sides are fine, but looking here, I was a little scared for Weibo at first because TheShy is going to have to walk all the way around to where Bin can very easily walk through the Stride Rush, but it's here. The amount of CC, stunned by Leona, follows up with the Zenith Blade. Karsa able to get the knockback. They take him down. TheShy sadly not able to finish off Bin. Sure, Yagao might find a return kill, but I thought here, maybe Xiaohu just wasted his flash since he doesn't really have much mana left, but has enough to get that last Q off to finish off On.
Just enough. And BLG now will grab a Drake off the back of that one. Chemtech to kick us off in this game. Shun stacking those up nicely, as you would hope on the Nidalee as well. I love the harsh comparison there as well, as we saw that chaotic fight in the top river there, and then the camera pans to the bottom lane, and his 280 carries just throwing abilities, you know, just chilling, both full HP, trying to farm up. That's not going to be the case anymore, though, as Light having to use a biscuit just to be able to use a satchel there, make sure that he doesn't go down.
Not a big fan of the yordle on yordle violence, I gotta say.
Oh, I'm a huge fan of it. I actually, I subscribe to a pay-per-play service where it's Yordle UFC, and honestly, incredible stuff.
Who is the champ right now?
Well, they're mid-tournament, so there is no crunch. It's the first championship, you know. It's exciting, though. Nah, looking pretty good. He keeps on stopping being a Yordle partway through the fights is the problem, and there's a lot of discussion on whether that should be part of the rules.
I gotta say, if an animator actually made this, I'm kind of interested.
I'm on the brink of paying someone to do this at this point. It does sound amazing. The Bandle City Beatdown, we could call it. We could call it the Bandle City Beatdown.
It actually works.
Rumble could be the commentator. Either way, that's not going to be on our screen today, unfortunately. But hopefully, somebody listening will make it happen. Crisp stops the recall to try and dodge the arrow. Still gets hit, but hey, not the end of the world. Should be able to still get back to base. Luckily for him, Light wasn't hit. That's what matters the most.
We have a very similar thing that we had earlier in the day. On has been in lane so little. He's level 3 to Crisp, who is level 5 on the Leona. And I mean, it won't mean too much right now, but with Crisp hitting 6 soon, that could just give so much more pressure to the side of Weibo. BLG will use this amount of movement to pick up a Herald now, so hopefully they can use this to start getting a gold swing going. But I'm really scared once those ults start coming online for the key members of Weibo.
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be a huge spike in favor of Crisp, right? Once he hits that level 6, and we'll see what BLG are able to do about it. That said, Heimerdinger support, like, the level 6 is not necessarily the most important thing for him. Granted, the stun across the whole team is very valuable.
Pretty much, but, yeah, that's it.
But generally speaking, it's more about how you're playing around your turrets, etc., etc. I'm not going to pretend to be an expert. But Weibo now in control of the top river here. No Herald to be talking about anytime soon. Just trying to make sure that they don't lose control. I love how the bottom lane is just being completely ignored in this game.
I mean, when you have, right, Jayce or Shax in the top lane, a Nidalee jungle on the side. I think it makes a lot of sense that Weibo just putting their pressure here. I still want to see, I wish we can see how close Crisp was to that level 6 mark, because that could potentially open up for dives. Yagao.
Rooted up, here comes Crisp to get the CC chain down as well. Yagao, low on HP, ignited so he can't get the healing. Misses with the solar flare and the realm warp to get back into the play. Yagao thinks he can go upwards, but Karsa is waiting, and here comes Light just to get a bit of kill credit. Actually misses his bomb, so doesn't get any kill credit, but a great little pickup there by Weibo.
Waiting in the brush. Yagao walks through all members on this side. Level 6 now finally picked up by Chris. We've been highlighting it so much because now having that opportunity with how much he's been moving towards this mid and top lane, I think to really get aggressive onto Yagao and Bin, because we know Light still going to be able to throw out these Qs and clear out waves all by his lonesome in the bot side, which is why look at the minimap. Crisp is still just heading out straight towards his top side. Light, though, might be in trouble.
Does have that satchel charge, has flash, but not quick enough on the fingers. The spear lands. Ooh. Satchel charge buys him some time. The bomb will clear the wave at very least, so they can't get plates, but still a big pick.
And they have Herald, so they're going to drop Herald in bot side, so Weibo are going to need to find a play. Yeah, Weibo are going to need to find a play on top, which is why you have so many members up here right now. No wave yet. Yeah,
Bin just jumped in as well. Will get rooted up, and I don't think he'll escape this one. Bit more damage coming on through. Crisp is behind enemy lines here. Wants to find Bin, looking for the stun with his Q. There's the tether, but the stun comes out from Bin, meaning that Crisp can't really do anything. No ignite available.
And it looked like Weibo's team weren't ready to make that play all at that time, right? We have the Maokai ultimate come out. TheShy is there, but Crisp is still making his way around. Could have taken a more direct path to where if you have that solar flare available, maybe then TheShy can follow up to dish out more damage. Yeah. Still will deny Jax, as we can see now. About a 30 CS lead for TheShy up in top side.
Plus 3 plates on top of that as well, so it is a sizable gold lead in TheShy's pocket. We've seen what he can do with the gold lead earlier today. Xiaohu, nice dodge on the spear. Realm Warp going to come on through, but just flashes over to the rest of his team. Dodges the stun, dodges everything, and Crisp had tank up for his teammate.
Utilizing that phase rush well. Also think it was good for him to flash towards his team and not fall that Realm Warp. Feels like that could have been a bit of a doom with other members of BLG still able to force up. Elk does have his Enchanted Crystal Arrow, so that's something we have to watch out for with action anywhere on the map, of being able to set that one up. And now BLG's a team going to look for this dragon. You have Wave pushing the top side, so Bin even leaning into Fog of War puts even more threat on this play down here. And it should open up for it as Bin actually might just move completely down towards that mid lane.
Yeah, we could see a play on towards Xiaohu here. Crystal Arrow comes on through, no flash available, but he doesn't care. Walks on forward, the solar flare there for Crisp as well. Bin flashing in to make the play happen. Takes a couple of tower shots, but happy to do so in order to get that pick onto the Weibo mid laner.
Will open up for even more plates for TheShy. At least we'll be able to get this one. He's already sitting on his Eclipse as well, so pretty big right now for TheShy. And when you look at how squishy the roster of BLG is, those accelerated shot blasts, you're going to start hitting like a truck very early on in this game. We had the Ziggs Jayce combo much earlier in the day, and it started to fall behind a little bit, but it took time to come online, right? We didn't get up to like 45 minutes into the game before it was really starting.
The fact that we had minutes available for it to come online says everything about the picks in themselves. Like, the Leandries is the biggest, like, okay, I finally do damage spike, and that's just been hit. So Light, at least, his bombs will start to be noticed now, but he's still a long way away from being, you know, a significant damage threat. Whereas Elk, you know, 2 items, really, AShe is going to start to hit pretty hard. I mean, AShe never hits that hard, but
yeah,
you know what I mean.
Relative to how hard the
AShe
champion
can hit.
I love what Weibo are doing. They're still making their way up towards his top side. It seems like BLG have started to shift their focal point. They've accepted we really can't do anything up here for Bin anymore. You can see Shun on the opposite side of the map. They're going to first go for push in mid, but they can always pivot down towards the bottom side for some vision. BLG
getting some plates here, but it's traded for potentially a tower up in the top side as TheShy hitting away there. We'll be able to do it. So that's first tower of the game, taken by TheShy, and he got pretty much all of the gold from that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he shared even a single plate. Maybe Karsa got part of one of them, but yeah, massive, massive gold influx for TheShy. They're trying to trade it in the mid lane, but the plates are now gone. So no more gold coming out from those.
I like the Xiaohu's backing off here because BLG are following kind of the expected plan of attack. push in mid. You really have to accept that you've lost out on top side. They even have like Leona, Maokai. Team fighting into that for Herald right now would be incredibly hard. So just take away the vision on bot side. Xiaohu expecting that to come in, goes for a recall quite early, so he can't be dove. And it is just going to be a trade. Looks like TheShy should still be able to get to bot in time to be able to catch the wave that Yagao's pushing in now.
Yeah, should be able to get there, grab those minions for himself, and he'll be very happy with that. And we're off to a fairly quiet early game, really, in the grand scheme of things. In the grand scheme of this series, anyway. 15 minutes, 7 kills on the clock. But the gold, once again, almost dead even. Just like game number 2 in the series, the first sort of 20 minutes, extremely close between the two teams. And then things really start to heat up for Weibo. When we talk about the scaling, though, this game, a lot of AP on the side of Weibo. Certainly a lot of long-range damage and a lot of dots going to be coming out with the Maokai and the Ziggs. Both going to be going for that kind of burn damage.
We're finally at a point where just first items are finished across the board. So we're going to start having noticeable damage come out. Shun has been such an annoyance right now, but Weibo, the team with the Rift Herald, is who we should really be looking at. They don't even have a chance to use it, though, with all the posturing coming out around this mid lane. And TheShy looks like he's either freezing or slow pushing that turret down in bot, so it might open up an opportunity for Bin to be able to get some more on this top lane.
Oh, Xiaohu's in big, big trouble. Flash, I think, is still just on cooldown. It's a matter of seconds here, but I don't think he's going to be able to use it. It's a big bomb, but it doesn't really do much damage at this point. Xiaohu going down, just caught with his trousers around his ankles.
Quite an aggressive path to take to answer that wave on top side, but a big thing is the vision. We can see, especially that ward right there, towards top side for BLG. BLG have wards littered across the top half of the map. They even have more vision in the bot side. We see a control ward down there now. Weibo really needing to try and establish a vision line anywhere on the map. With TheShy now pushing down in bot, you would want some wards down there for him to push safely.
Felt really mad at Karsa for dropping that Herald, just wailing on the guy, but he's able to walk away. And Bin should be able to grab a tower on the top side, so trades across the board here, but it's still Weibo with that advantage, 3-2 so far. Let's take another look. TheShy walks across the control ward, stunned up, nice little shot there by Elk, and the rest of the team just piles on.
They even saw him pathing there just from when he initially left mid. And I believe you're right. I think he had like seconds up on his flash before it could have came up, or he could have just flashed over to like where Krugs were and been able to get away. So nice shot by BLG, and a lot of it coming down to this vision control. When they are playing a more like pick-oriented comp in this early mid game, that's exactly what you need to get those enchanted crystal arrows off the ground, and the kills brought in line.
All right, TP comes through. I believe that's Xiaohu. No, it's TheShy joining the play. Yagao takes away those grasping roots. Perhaps a way for BLG to find themselves an advantageous fight, but it's going to be tough, honestly. There's quite a lot of poke on both sides. I'm not sure these fights will ever kick off. I think it might actually just be a battle of attrition, poke versus poke.
I'd say we have more for Weibo with the fact that they have the Leona and the Maokai, but you're right. I mean, all BLG needs is book someone low enough for an enchanted crystal arrow to come out. Karsa keeps eating these spears.
Yeah, has to flash over the wall here, and TheShy caught out alone, but Yagao's the one that has to flash. As Xiaohu played so aggressive. The bombs onto the backline. Elk incredibly low. TheShy goes for it and finds the kill onto Elk. Beautiful bit of play on the Jayce there. It's Karsa on the top side of the fight, hoping somebody walks into those saplings. Remember that Light can just keep spamming these bombs out all day long.
I still think TheShy was a huge part of that poke, able to come out. We have Yagao TPing in now. He might just go down.
Uh-oh. That is not the place that you want to be, Yagao. The minefield keeps it there. What a play. Was that the satchel that pushed it back?
I think it was.
Huge play from Light. And now BLG, very low on HP. They're still committed to this Drake, but I don't know if they can.
Xiaohu is TP, so I think he's going to back and try and come back in since Light and Karsa are still here. I thought things were going to be so bad for Weibo, considering that Karsa seriously was just a magnet for every spear there was coming out from Shun.
And look at this. I mean, the Dragon is going to kill the BLG players alone here. It doesn't even need Weibo to arrive for them to win this fight. Dragon alone, the spear won't actually land in the end. And there we go. Karsa grabs it. First, that's off the comet. Oh, it goes down. What a blind shot from Light, and finds his kill.
Kills now evened up on both sides. Gold! Evened up on both sides. And here, again, Karsa had eaten every spear, gets chunked out. You see Maokai ults coming in left and right, but TheShy having no fear. And Xiaohu using the Realm Warp to come in. If you actually force flashes out on both sides, but the key thing is here. TheShy finding this opportunity to get straight onto Elf. There's a sizable amount of damage to other members as well. And this whole time, like, sure, Nidalee spears are poking out Karsa, but Ziggs bombs are poking out the whole team. Yagao with a bit of a interesting TP is, I think it was the Satchel that kept him in there.
Yeah.
And then immediately into the Rune Prison, making sure he couldn't get away any further. And then Weibo, knowing that Xiaohu has that TP, he can come back in full HP. All the members of BLG are so low, they can force him off the Drake.
And I mean, the Drake basically forcing them off the Drake. I'm not sure they would have won the 3v1 against the Drake, honestly. Yeah. Splash damage doing a lot of work there. And then this final bomb. Oh, they did get, it was a Scryer's Bloom on him, so it wasn't blind, but I mean, that's a very greedy recall from Odd, honestly, especially when the Scryer's hits him. Surely you leave at that point. But on punish for that one. 6-6. As you say, gold, only 500 apart. It's a Drake, most recently for Weibo, but 2 on the side of BLG. 3 towers to 2. It could be more exciting for our match of the week. It's such a close run thing between these two teams.
Yeah, and it looks like the excitement might not stop is on. Spots out Weibo. Honestly, had Weibo known how few members were here, they probably would have just turned on to him.
Yeah, maybe.
Because, I mean, you see AShe was in mid lane, like, Shun's on the opposite side of the map. The problem is they don't know that, right? They don't have vision spotting these ones out.
I just want to say, that is the most deadpan delivery of the sentence. The excitement might not stop I've ever heard. Because here we go. The root's going to come in on not having a good couple of minutes. Taken out again. Big pick there for Weibo, and that'll give him so much space around this Baron to just take complete vision control.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to go for it just yet, though. They're really just valuing getting TheShy as big as possible. As once again, just catching waves by his inner turret. Has allowed him to increment a huge CS advantage over Bin, though.
Spear goes wide on Karsa. Just trying to push these waves, but it's impossible versus the Ziggs. And TheShy going to move down to the bottom side of the map. As you can see, in on the top side. Xiaohu resetting. Curious what our lane assignments are going to end up being with the fact that Baron is on the cards here. You'd expect you'd want Bin down on the bottom side of the map, but he's here to play.
Oh, and they're just going to start this one outright. TP flank coming in from Yagao. They might be able to get on top of Karsa.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yagao behind enemy lines.
Still
That's an
spotted.
arrow. Realm Warp comes in to protect Light, though. And Yagao trying to get onto the AD carry. Nobody turning onto Light, though, because they want to go for the Baron here. Karsa over the wall, has a blast cone available, gets in the pit, and it's a smite off. Shun takes it, and now carnage ensues. Shun on the backside, but jumps over the wall here. And Nature's Grasp is going to go wide. It's a 1-for-2. Baron taken by BLG, and Weibo are furious. They're desperate to punish, but BLG escaping on the bottom side of the play.
Yeah, BLG, they just managed to get away with the robbery. Weibo tried to make their way in. Karsa did, but at the end of the day, Shun's Smite coming in clutch. They won't be able to take anything off of this, but we're going to see here a very weird play. Because Yagao comes in with like the early TP, tries to find his way into the flank. And I like that BLG say here, hey, let him be a distraction. Burn down this Baron. Yagao even tries to stop Karsa from going in the pit. He manages to get in there, but Shun does get the better end of the smite coming on through. And now, plan from BLG is, hey, everyone get the hell out of Dodge. 2 members still go down, but the fact that BLG now with 3 Barons will allow them to keep up the push and pressure, hopefully for this Dragon, coming up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, well played by Elk there just to get 1 bonus kill at the end of the play. That's the 2-item spike I was talking about. AShe does the most damage she ever does, kind of, not really, but ish. Here we go, arrow comes in, Crisp stunned up. Shun will be answered onto here as Crisp just goes for the play, forces a flash out from him. Yagao wants to answer though when it's Crisp that's been caught out instead. And Weibo, they're running out of presence in this game, but Shun, 1 HP, somehow walks out with a cleanse there. And Yagao onto TheShy, trying to escape. Yagao turns gold and keeps himself alive here. I don't know if Light has Satchel available, apparently not. As Bin tries to get onto Karsa, Light jumping forwards, misses his bomb. Yagao in and Karsa with a double.
Health bars on the side of BLG are just so low. they were able to find more kills initially in the play, but now being the ones forced to back off. Karsa throwing out some saplings, hoping to find maybe stray kills on the way out that shouldn't really happen.
Oh, bombs coming out. Karsa, if he can get a sapling in, I mean, he's got two items at this point. He does a lot of damage.
Yeah, but Bin TP back in at full HP, so it's going to be much harder. If BLG get this, it will put them on soul point.
Shun is there. Smite's available for both junglers. Karsa really wants to go for it, but won't be allowed in. Taken by Shun. 3 Drakes now. BLG on soul point.
Huge for the side of BLG. And, I mean, this one coming out of nowhere, it looked kind of awkward to start off with for Elk. Trying to get the arrow onto TheShy, can't, lands on Chris. And then the turnaround isn't there. One flash from Shun allows him to get away. And then the turn damage is so huge. Great ult by Yagao to get multiple members locked down. Shun surviving by the skin of his teeth. And then the fact that Weibo commits so much to trying to chase that down allows BLG to finish 2 kills pretty much right off the bat. Heimer is traded on the receiving end as well, though. But perfect trade, Bin!
He's found TheShy. TP immediately from Xiaohu, but it's going to be too late. Oh no, Bin knocked away. TheShy surviving. Xiaohu trying to close the gap as fast as he possibly can. He's onto Bin here, but the counter-strike comes into play. TheShy dodging onto Yagao. It's 1-for-1 mid laner, getting the kill on either side. The Realm Warp gets him out of there, but there's on trying to get the mid laner down. The Realm Warp is out with the Robbers. Yagao now trying to close the gap. Karsa trying to escape. Shun on the front line. Bombs flying out from Light. It's absolute chaos, but BLG are winning it.
What is going on when you have to say a Realm Warp is being answered by a Realm Warp? Weibo trying to get away, BLG the one starting up the action, and the action is not stopping in this mid lane. Looks like BLG might head up. Baron's still not on the table just yet, so this isn't going to turn into anything. But gold being traded on both sides. And look at the gold lead. It's still only a minuscule 1,000.
I love this matchup. This is a modern classic in my mind. After that. If this is like, if we get this in summer, if we get this in playoffs, and it's like this again, honestly, straight into the history books with these two teams, because this is absolutely amazing to watch. I'm having so much fun seeing these two teams brawl it out. We've got 1 minute and 40 seconds until Baron's back on the map, and you just know that's going to be the next time that we see these two teams go fist to fist once again.
And a lot of it, on my mind, coming down to the BLG soul laners. Yagao especially is just being so proactive. Like, once a skirmish happens, it feels like he's always finding his way onto that back line with a very impactful ult, forcing out flashes or finding a kill. And Bin now getting to a point where he is becoming a nuisance in that side lane. BLG as a whole, though, wanting to set up for that side lane, trying to get some vision down towards that bottom half of the map to allow the Jax to get some presence.
Does feel like it's very much becoming a game of, can BLG force the fight or can Weibo poke them out? So far, BLG just about getting the advantage. Oh, the arrow going wide slightly. Bin just taking a bit of a hit from TheShy there. He'll be fine in the bottom side for the time being. 2 minutes on the Drake as BLG could be in trouble here on an Elk. No spell shields, but they're blocked by Yagao. Nicely played there by the BLG mid laner. I don't know if going into there would have been the play, honestly.
Still, though, they're committing 2 ultimates to not even get a summoner out from the play, right? Both Solar Flare and Karsa's ultimate used.
Literally Banshees, and that's it.
Yeah. So now BLG going to be fine to just stay in this. I don't really know if stalemate's the right word, but they're kind of fine with this neutral map position.
Yeah.
Just keep allowing your Jax to get more and more items. But look at the CS deficit in that lane, actually. We've seen it slowly grow from, like, I believe when we first looked, it was like 20, and then last time it was 50, and now we're up to a solid 60 CS lead for TheShy in this side lane. To be fair, though, a lot of the times TheShy will, like, hold the wave close to the tier 2, right? And then freeze for a bit, build up for that slow push, and come out with a huge advantage. Right now sitting at 3.5 items, only 2.5 picked up for Bin.
Yeah, TheShy terrifyingly huge at this point in the game. Those shock blasts, if you hit like on, for example, TheShy is 5 levels up on, but he will one-shot that guy.
But that's the amount of pressure that, you know, in standard we need to hold him to if Weibo want to win. It needs to be on the back of TheShy's damage.
It certainly does. Light as well, following up on that. Like, you see a shock blast land, we need to see the Mega Inferno Bomb finish the job. There it is! There's the shock blast! Half of his HP instantly.
quite low. Weibo wanting to follow us up. Solar flare.
It's the setup for the sapling. He flashes though. Chris now too deep alone. Uses the Eclipse to try and keep himself alive, but Yagao is there to finish the job. Flashes over the wall, trying to keep himself safe. Xiaohu's there. Zonyas comes into play. Light with some bombs, but it's too early. He mistimes it, and Yagao walks away. Weibo lose a player with 10 seconds until Soul spawns for BLG.
The timing could have been the difference between an even trade and taking out such an impactful member like Yagao.
Yeah.
It's not going to come through, and now Dragon's online. Yagao has the TP in, he's the flank.
He's on the flank, the health bars are low for BLG. There's still a chance Weibo can win this if they find their skill shots and they find their moments. Realm Warp coming on through, the root coming out from Xiaohu. Yagao has a blast cone, gets out to safety. And again, the poke has to land here from Weibo if they want any chance.
And for BLG, they still have flash on people like Bin as well to try to close
on the
distance.
Dragon. 5k on the Dragon. They're running out of time. Karsa's got to get in there. He's got to find his smite. It's taken by Shun again. Shun is on point with the smites today, and that's Infernal Soul for BLG.
Weibo just haven't been able to get it together around the Dragon, whether it's giving over small picks to start off, or even finding an avenue in, now turning right to the Baron.
Can they do it in time, though? The TP already coming on through. BLG, they want to contest this.
They're looking for it. Arrow comes out.
Been rooted up, they take it. The Baron is theirs. Chris looking for the engage as well. Bombs coming flying in. Karsa, low on HP. It's one for BLG, but it's traded back. Elk trying to kite back. TheShy flashes, but it's answered immediately. Shun now underneath the tower. I don't know if he escapes this one. Shock Blast is there. The acceleration as well. Xiaohu tries to cut off his escape. Shun is on Nidalee though. It's so easy to pounce away from these plays, but can he dodge the Shock Blast when it comes on through? The shield is gone. A little bit more damage would do it, but here's Bin, the surprise turnaround. Should have been making it happen. Xiaohu, 1v2, needs to find his spells. They back away.
Slight missteps coming out for Weibo. Keep costing them. Gold still even. Weibo do manage to get a Baron buff onto a couple of members, but it's always these razor-thin margins where members of BLG keep getting out alive.
Literally a game of inches is the only way to describe this. The arrow coming in, getting Xiaohu to start with Chris, managing to CC up 2 players to start it off.
Yeah, Bane and Yagao both getting taken down. But Karsa just very squishy at this point in time. Follow-up isn't exactly there. Great flash from Elk, but that Zenith play would have definitely landed. And then the chase down, as we just saw, Shun able to buy enough time and space for Bin to be able to make it there. And now we have Weibo trying to use this push to, I don't even really know. I feel like if a fight breaks out now, you're kind of scared of just the amount of raw damage power that BLG has. And it goes back to what we said earlier, right? For Weibo, there's a lot about Light, TheShy, being able to get damage off first.
Chris in trouble. On has the combo to try and get the damage down, but Chris managing to walk away here. The Soul Flare there as well. Roots coming in. The bomb on the Comet. The burn, is it enough? On goes down. It's a pick for Weibo. They find the advantage despite the discrepancy in items and damage. They still have the Baron to push on in with. A tier 2 goes down. Shun trying to defend the spears, really chunking out Karsa at this point in the game. Remember, the Ziggs can destroy these towers very quickly. Xiaohu forced away. The ball answered by a bomb. And the spears continuing to land from Shun here. They've got to try and escape. Karsa barely getting away from that one. But a slow from Light should be enough for them to get away.
Sadly, it feels like they really need Leona or Maokai up these fools to have looked for the turns that they want. So not going to be able to get any more other than that pick onto On and 1 turret. Shun, as you pointed out, doing a crazy amount of damage, just consistently landing those spears on Weibo's retreat.
Yeah. I love the triple void staffs in the inventories of Weibo right now. They need that magic pen. They need these spells to stick. And you know, there's an Infernal Soul on the side of BLG, but I feel like damage is pretty much even on these two teams. Like, it's all about positioning. It's all about execution right now. Whoever finds that moment will find themselves maybe the game at this point, with Baron and Elder Dragon spawning in 2 minutes each.
Still going to keep looking to play towards this bottom side of the map. There really isn't anything to play for anytime soon, so it feels like this is the time when you should try to get your sideways in order. I feel like both teams are scared of potential engages coming off, which is why they're not relegating too many members to doing that. We can see Xiaohu finally answering down in the bottom lane, but someone from BLG is actually going to be sent down there soon to catch that.
Yeah, Xiaohu sending a bit of a slow push there. As Crisp taking a bit of damage from Elk here. Crystal Arrow goes in as well. And that's a Leona flash. That is very valuable with these two objectives coming up. Crisp going to be forced back to base. BLG, you'd think maybe could get the tier 1 mid off of that, but it is Ziggs that you're up against, so maybe the wave just gets cleared, and there you go. But the roots coming on through. Realm Warp cancelled in the end. Elk takes a massive chunk as well. Yagao throwing out some bombs. I feel like both teams just launching everything from the other side of the room. It's like a food fight.
I feel like we just have the most extended posturing in the world where neither team willing to commit to getting really their sides in order, vision down. It's like, hey, we're grouping up. BLG, we want to take mid turret, and Weibo, they just want to stop them. They both have a decent amount of range to play with, and that's what's leading us here. We have both neutrals up in a minute to halftime, so... Yeah. Elder definitely feels like what this game's going to come down to. You're not going to want to trade that for Baron at this point in time. But Weibo might be able to give away Soul, but I don't think Weibo can afford to give away Elder.
No, definitely not. And it has to be said, we've had two 50-50 smites this game. Shun has won both of them. He has been absolutely on point. Karsa not being able to find those yet. Oh my days, that damage after the TheShy. On in serious trouble if he gets hit by just 2 spells at this point. Light can follow up with his own ultimate. At least On has the flash available at the moment.
Now looking at summoners, flash is available across the board other than Crisps, who won't be too impactful. I mean, we'll just have enough solar flare, and if you can buy the range of all the Zenith Blade, the angle will of course be there.
Yeah. I mean, for BLG at this point, it's no longer League of Legends, it's dodgeball. Bin taking a bit of a chunk. Xiaohu just charging forwards. 1v3 right there as the rest of the team now here. Crisp trying to survive. Is Yagao flashing away the bomb? Just shy of getting him. But both solo lane is so low for BLG. Karsa takes a massive chunk as well. Do both teams have to back away?
But every time, Weibo get one member of BLG like 100 or HP less away from death, and they manage to escape. It just feels so unfortunate for them, but TP coming in for Elder.
Karsa is really low on HP. This is a dire situation for Weibo, unless they can find something magical. Crisp is nowhere near, Hex skating over to try to be a part of the play. No, it was a Realm Warp actually from Xiaohu to make it over. There are no Hex skates in this game. Crisp on the front line, but he's already chunked, and Xiaohu's stunned. The flank from Bin is massive. Xiaohu walking away, goes down. Crisp low, and BLG finding the fight that they needed. Crisp falls, Yagao survives. TheShy 2 HP in a dream. But Light doesn't have that ultimate available. TheShy recalling. We need to see some kind of miracle from Weibo.
Yeah, gonna have to see TheShy coming in, making something happen. Light gonna try and put out his own damage right now, but BLG should be able to get this in time.
Light's in trouble, dodging everything. There goes Elder. Is there any answer? I don't think so. Shun trying to chase Light out of the play. And BLG slowly but surely inching this game out.
And this is what happens. 2 teams that we expect to be top of the table teams competing for those slots to go to MSI. Both rosters absolutely stacked. So many LPL champions on the Rift right now. World champions, MSI champions. We see here one of them starts it off. Bin goes in, locks down Xiaohu. He gets deleted instantly. And that really just felt like the nail in the coffin. Because you hit it. Karsa was already like 40% HP coming into this fight. He can do anything, and now BLG are looking for a Baron.
And there's no way you can contest this. We just need some kind of steal. It's not going to happen. Shun has been on point with his smites today. And honestly, this match, this series, the story of recency versus veterancy, right? On the side of BLG, you've got these players that have been dominating in the last few splits, that have come together to make this powerful team. And on the side of Weibo, you've got veterans, maybe the most trophies of any team in the world, honestly, with just the sheer amount of winning they've done over the years. And right now, it feels like recency is winning.
I do got to say, though, this is incredibly close.
Yeah.
And I am excited for 5 games of this. Shen and Crystal Arrow does end up going wide, but Bin and BLG are still fishing for the angle to end the game.
It's a tier 2 take of Bin. Black's going himself over, hoping for a pick. But he can't quite find it. pings over towards the tier 2 on the bottom side is BLG. They know that this is their opportunity to just tick some boxes, get towers across the map.
I mean, for BLG, they'd love to find a fight. They have 45 seconds with this Elder left online.
Yeah.
Sure, they're going to use the Baron, push down these turrets, but if they can break open these inhibitor turrets and get the engage, the game can just be over right here.
35 seconds on that buff. This Karsa just continuously taking these spears. It's been a tough game for him, it has to be said. As the roots coming on through. Crisp will get caught, has to use a Zhonya's there just to survive the Elder Dragon burn. TheShy surely loses this tower, he can't stick around. And BLG finally open this base up. That's one inhib taken. Elder for 10 seconds more, but they will not find their fight in time. Karsa with a root across the team here. Bin the target, solar flare in, bombs in. Damage just isn't there right now for Weibo. They can't finish any players off.
No, BLG gonna manage to get away, but hey, at least Weibo stopped 2 inhibitors going down. Looks like they're gonna try and threaten following through, but with the Baron and power recalls, they shouldn't be here. Where are they?
Well, oh my god. That's without Elder. Over half of Karsa's HP from a single spear. Shun is annihilating this game. And I just want to take a second, Lyric, and say, like, how often do we see 40-minute games in the LPL? We get 2 40-minute bangers today, one between TT and IG, now this one between Weibo and BLG.
I gotta be real, my voice, as you know, has not been able to handle this. There's been a day of LPL, and I love it.
It's been a
but
banger.
I don't know if the world can handle this kind of day of LPL.
I couldn't handle this being my everyday, but I love that I get a treat like this today. Bin moving up to this top side as BLG group up to try and finish the job. Karsa caught by an arrow here. Bomb comes in from Yagao. Can they finish the job? Crisp has to flash. Bit of damage traded back. Elk actually chunked out by Xiaohu. He walks away with his life. Nobody goes down. It's still so tense.
I mean, the damage coming out from both sides. Like you said, it doesn't matter if that soul is there with Elder gone. Weibo, I mean, TheShy and Xiaohu especially, I'm continuously surprised to see how much damage Xiaohu's putting on in such a short amount of time and not getting punished or bursted out with how close he has to get to deal that damage.
I mean, his movement is so clean. Like, he is dodging so many skill shots consistently, moving around beautifully in these fights, almost at that 6-item mark. And we are getting to that point in the game. Elk, has finished off his 6th item at this point, and there are other players getting extremely close, both mid laners. Light as well. Karsa has to flash away. Shun trying to finish the job, dodges the spear, but a single auto is enough. Shun finds his javelin, finds his mark, finds his opposite man, and perhaps finds the match of the week for his team. A huge window of 45 seconds to work with.
Weibo waiting for the wave to come in. It is going to come through right now. Looking for the fight.
Arrows there. Crisp is down. Xiaohu is next as he turns golden to buy time. Health bars are low. Maybe Light and TheShy could do something miraculous. They're looking for more. Shock blast in. Bin turns golden. Light throwing these bombs out as fast as he can, but Bin walks away. Another bouncing bomb would do it. Shun and Bin both on 1 HP. Elk alone to try and end this game right here. The heals coming on through, trying to clear the minions, but he doesn't have the damage. Elk onto the Nexus. I think they've done it. BLG. No, Elk with the 1v1. The cojones!
Stops hitting the Nexus to get the kill first, knowing he has the DPS online. BLG winning in style.
That is the most Giga Chad play I have ever seen. The Nexus is there, and he chooses to 1v1 Light says, bring it on, buddy.
What a match of the week coming out from both teams. BLG walk out their heads held high. It was really close. In terms of like how this affects perception of teams, like, my God, both of these teams are going to be scary for other teams going on in the split. Shun, exceptional performance on his signature picks today. He got his hands on both of them, Nidalee and Kindred, both on board. I mean, we saw Yagao having an excellent series, I believe, as well. And then Bin, Elk, like different members having different moments. It's great.
Yeah.
They keep getting pushed to 3 games.